Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani Class Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, your trusted source for daily news and stories from across the continent and beyond. On today's show, we unpack South Africa's outrage over the U.S. plan to grant refugee status to white Afrikaners, while Ugandan opposition leader Bobi Wine gears up for another presidential run. Russian President Vladimir Putin meets African leaders amid Western pressure, and in Côte d'Ivoire, Tijani Thiam vows to fight his disqualification from elections. We also highlight President Nandi Ndaito's cultural appeal in Namibia. Plus, don't miss Maxi Chula's Zambia report covering aid cuts, mining politics, and a big entertainment win. Do always watch Africa Good Morning on DSTV 285, GoTV 25, and NTV Africa on YouTube. My name is Ashwin Berry. Top story shortly.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
South Africa has strongly criticized a reported plan by the United States to resettle white Afrikaners as refugees, describing it as politically motivated and aimed at undermining the country's constitutional democracy. The move, detailed in a document seen by CBS, is said to be a priority for President Donald Trump's administration. In an executive order issued in February, Trump labeled Afrikaners as victims of racial discrimination, opening the door for their resettlement in the U.S. South Africa said it will not prevent those selected from leaving, but insists on full vetting to ensure no criminal charges are pending. The government dismissed claims of racially targeted farm killings, saying crime statistics do not support such assertions. U.S. officials plan to welcome 54 Afrikaners at a Virginia airport today, while Elon Musk, a Trump advisor and South African native, has controversially claimed a genocide is occurring. Pretoria rejected allegations of land seizures without compensation. Russian President Vladimir Putin held bilateral discussions in Moscow this weekend with the leaders of the Palestinian Authority, Zimbabwe, and Burkina Faso. The talks coincided with celebrations marking the 80th anniversary of the defeat of Nazi Germany. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa, and Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traore were all in attendance. Putin used the meeting with Abbas to explore how Russia could further contribute to de-escalating tensions in the Middle East. This diplomatic engagement occurred on the same day that leaders from France, the UK, Germany, and Poland issued a joint ultimatum to Putin demanding acceptance of a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. Their proposal, scheduled to begin today, received backing from US President Donald Trump following a phone briefing. The talks highlight Russia's attempt to solidify alliances beyond the West amid growing pressure from European powers aligned with Kyiv in the ongoing conflict. Ugandan opposition leader and musician Bobi Wine announced he will contest in the 2026 presidential election, reaffirming his challenge to President Yoweri Museveni, who is expected to seek re-election. Speaking to Reuters, Wine said the election is not just a bid for power, but an opportunity to expose the regime and mobilize Ugandans to free themselves. He harshly criticized Western governments for what he called their complicity through silence on gross human rights violations, including torture and illegal detentions of his supporters. He accused Museveni's son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, of detaining and physically abusing his personal bodyguard, Eddie Mutwe, who later appeared in court showing signs of torture. If elected, he pledged to restore civil liberties and confront corruption in Uganda. Tijani Tiam, former Credit Suisse CEO and chairman of Rwanda Finance Limited, has vowed to contest the Ivorian court ruling that disqualified him from running in the upcoming presidential election. The 62-year-old, recently confirmed as the candidate for the center-right Democratic Party of Côte d'Ivoire, was deemed ineligible under a 1961 nationality law which strips Ivorian citizenship from nationals who acquire another nationality. Despite renouncing his French citizenship in March, the court ruled Tiam could neither vote nor run for president. He claims the decision is politically motivated and constitutes an abuse of the legal system, asserting his identity as a native Ivorian. The Information Minister Amadou Coulibaly countered Tiam's claims, saying he was not Ivorian at the time of electoral registration. A court ruling on the matter is expected on Thursday, and all parliamentary activity has been suspended in protest. The final candidate list will be released on June 20. We end our top stories in Namibia. President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah pleaded with Namibians to preserve culture to strengthen bonds within communities, promoting unity, cooperation, and mutual respect. Nandi-Ndaitwah made the remarks at the Omaongo Cultural Festival at Olmedi Palace on Saturday. She commended founding President Sam Nujoma for initiating the annual celebration.
Country, a testimony to the shared values and aspiration that unite us as a nation. Director of Ceremonies, this year's theme, preservation of our cultural heritage and strengthening of our unity, resonates profoundly with me, especially as we gather just 2 days before the first birthday celebration of the late Dr. Sam Safishuna Nujoma, our founding president, father of the Namibian nation, leader for our Namibian revolution, since he departed. As the initiator of this program, and as we all know, that President Nujoma deeply understood the importance of unity in diversity, unity of purpose, cultural preservation, and the prosperity of all Namibians.
Truly beautiful to behold. We're going to have a look at the weather predictions, and after that, the Zambian government has responded to the U.S. withholding $50 million in health aid. Max Sichula will be delivering the Zambia report. It's time to talk to Mike Sichula as he delivers the Zambia report. Mr. Sichula, Muribanji.
Tirebuino Muribanji, Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Africa, good morning indeed. Now, we did cover this story when it broke last week, Thursday, about the U.S. government deciding to withhold $50 million in health aid, and they were alleging there was a lot of stock theft of drugs. I believe that the Zambian government has now responded, Mike.
Yes, the Minister of Health, Dr. Elijah Muchima, held a media briefing last week. And also, it was during that meeting that the minister acknowledged the United States report and did tell the nation that the government of Zambia has instituted a number of programs to ensure that drug theft is not something that should continue. So, according to the minister, he is blaming the situation to past administrations that failed to put into place measures to ensure that there's no longer theft of drugs in the country. So then also he spoke about the establishment of national task force that is aimed at ensuring that there's no and longer any theft of drugs. And there was also real time measures that were put in place by the ZAMSA, the body that is mandated to stock, procure, and distribute drugs across the country. Then just yesterday, the minister, the government authorities did swung in into compounds and other places where they sell these drugs, and they did quite arrest a number of people who are operating these drug stores where some of the government medicine was probably found. So it is a work in progress for the government of Zambia, and Mr. President Hakainde Hichilema also spoke to it, saying that the issue of drug theft is a matter that should come to an end, urging citizens to become more patriotic and ensure that medicines that are given to Zambia by foreign donors are used for the intended purposes, unlike what the Americans reported. So it is a very sad state of affairs, and the government has put in measures, and they also have a national endeavor sometime this year to see to it whether they can have new ways of combating this unfortunate situation.
All right, Mike. Now, in your next story, a lawmaker has been charged for remarks against diplomats.
Yes, Mr. Robert Chavinga is the acting faction president of the Patriotic Front. There is shown in the picture with a wide smile with President Edgar Lungu. So he's been an ally of the current administration. So twice he has said that he has alleged that there are some diplomats in Zambia who are holding dark corner meetings with the opposition. Their motive, according to him, is that they want to destabilize the current administration. They are working with members of the opposition. So at first, when he spoke about this, a number of civil society organization and opposition political party members raised alarm. Then what followed was the Minister of Foreign Affairs disowning him, saying that whatever he said was something that it was of his own personal capacity and does not mean that government is backing him. But he has continued. He did say again when he was given an interview at some private TV station. He maintained that he still know that there are those diplomats who do such meetings. So what has followed again is that a concerned citizen based in central Zambia, Kabwe, has reported Mr. Chavinga to the to has reported him to the court so that he should explain, because people are saying his remarks are not going well with the diplomatic cause in Zambia, who feel threatened, who feel that he's being used by some operatives in the government to issue remarks that are negative to diplomats accredited to Zambia.
All right, very interesting update there, Mike. Now, the government has announced a 2025 mining investment summit.
Wow, this is a continuation of what has been happening, but the uniqueness about this year's event is that the government of Zambia, Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, Mr. Poka Buswe, they want to ensure that this endeavor attracts as many as local business and investors in the mining industry. And it is coming on the backdrop where the government of Zambia has set a target of reaching over 3 million metric tons of copper. You know, Zambia, as we know, it used to be the number 1 copper producer in Africa, but it has fallen to the Democratic Republic of Congo. For the past 2-3 years, the country has failed to produce over 1 million tons of copper. So this administration has set an ambitious target, and they are hoping that this INSACA that will take place in October from the 6th to the 10th of October will be one of those that a number of Zambians are going to come on board to ensure that foreign nationals who are coming into the country to take interest in mining can also partner with them, and also make it a point that Zambians can become more interested in copper mining as opposed to just waiting for them to be employed by foreign nationals who take over these mines. And something that the president has also been emphasizing, to say, let's get involved in mining, because we've been mining for over 100 years, but we do not have Zambians who own some of these mines.
Now getting into the top sports story from Zambia, Keith Mwemba has been elected the Football Association of Zambia president, Mike.
Quite an interesting turn of events, because the incumbent Andrew Kamanga seemed to have fallen short of councillors, because the Electoral College is about 86 members. That's Keith Mwemba there on the second from your left. So he was elected, beating the incumbent by over 25 votes. He got 45 votes, and the incumbent got 20 votes. So he was declared winner. So Mr. Keith Mwemba is coming to the Football Association of Zambia with a promise to promote unity of purpose in the sports. According to him, he said that what has happened in the past, where there seems to have been disunity in the past, him, when he comes to ensure that this unity is maintained and restored. And also, when he spoke to delegates, he did say that he did acknowledge that the past president, Mr. Andrew Kamanga, did a lot of work, especially in the promotion of women football, something that he has pledged to continue where Mr. Kamanga has left. So it was a sigh of relief, because this AGM, the one that took off in Kabwe, was the reconvened one, for having that the first one that was supposed to usher him into office in Livingstone on the 29th failed because of an injunction. So he's received a lot of congratulatory messages from as far as FIFA President Gianni Infantino, and this week Mr. Mwemba will be traveling to Zurich to go and meet the president. So it is a good turn of events, considering that it was highly intense. It had divided the nation. So Mr. Mwemba is coming with a lot of expectations to ensure that, for instance, the copper Liprica is maintained, to ensure that the copper queens continue to thrive, to ensure that Coach Avram Grant, whether he will be given a new contract, or to also see to it that whether Fashion Sakara and Hazel Onari are going to come back to the national teams, because they were believed to have been left out by the past administration. So those are some of the expectations. But Mr. Mwemba is also a very prominent lawyer, and is also somebody who has played football before. So he's coming at the helm of the Football Association of Zambia with a lot of experience, having also been a president of one of the Super League teams, Muza FC. So he's got a lot of experience, but he has indicated that he will need time to learn from those that have been there before him.
All right, thank you for that important update. We'll certainly be following that story for a while now, Mike. Now, in the last of your stories in the Zambia report, a Zambian film has won big at the 2025 Africa Magic Awards.
Yes, the film featured Muzukanji, who our viewers, maybe others may not know, is a former wife to one of Zambia's popular musicians, Yo Maps. So that's him, an old picture of Yo Maps and Muzukanji on the left. So the film featured her more or less like a true story of what she went through, and it's something that a number of people also, when this film was being promoted, they did not think that she was somebody who was good in terms of venturing into the film industry. So this movie was directed by Cosmas Nyendwa, who is also one of Zambia's biggest and popular comedians or actors. So he was the director of this film, and when it was reviewed in the country, people did not expect something better. But here we are. It has the best Southern African language, Southern Africa, winning that award. And Muzikanji did respond on social media, expressing her appreciation and support, and also recognition by the organizers of the awards, that her film has managed to scoop one of the awards on the African continent. So it is an encouraging to Mr. Nyendwa, who at one point was in one of the popular drama series in Zambia, Mpali, but he was removed from that film because of some issues that happened. He tried to go back, but he refused, and he went solo. And today is an award recipient on the African continent.
Congratulations, and as usual, Zambia Kuchalo. Thank you very much, Mike, for bringing us the news stories from Zambia.
Yes, indeed, Zambia Kuchalo. Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Let's get into the economic news. Africa's renewable energy momentum is accelerating, with countries like the Central African Republic, DR Congo, Ethiopia, Lesotho, and Namibia leading the continent in clean energy generation. According to data published in May this year by Embers Global Electricity Review, these nations have achieved near or complete reliance on renewables, primarily hydropower, for their electricity needs. While East and Central Africa rely heavily on hydroelectricity, Southern Africa is integrating more solar, notably in Namibia. Other top performers include Uganda, Eswatini, Malawi, Sierra Leone, and Mozambique, which boast over 84% renewables in their energy mix. This shift is driven by national policies, international financing, as well as incentives for off-grid and utility-scale projects aimed at increasing access and reducing dependence on fossil fuels. Uganda's Get Fit program and Mozambique's expanding solar parks highlights the strategic investments across the continent. As of 2025, more than 30 African countries have adopted national strategies with renewable energy targets, signaling a continent-wide energy transformation. That has been our economic news story, and those have been our stories on Africa Good Morning, delivering the very latest news stories stemming from the continent and beyond. DSTV 285, Core TV 25, WhatUp2.com, and Network Media Hub is precisely where you can always find us. From me, Ashwin Bedi, and the Africa Good Morning team, Swera Jaganaka.